Knock knock, who that? It's me again. In today's video, we're going to be talking about STOIC's latest video. Men don't want a challenge. His life is hard enough. That's the not the topic. That's the title of his video. I suggest you watch it after watching this. And I'll put this now. Anyway. Oh my God. It's not easy being consistent. It's not easy being consistent, but it's something I have to do. It's something I have to do. It's something I have to do if I want to become someone in life. If I want to leave my own mark in the universe, it's something I really have to do. Anyways, I'll be reacting to what it said, and I'll put in my own comments here and there. Here we go.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is STOIC's Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is men don't want a challenge. At least when it comes to their relationships with women.
My iPhone's on 10%. I hope it doesn't die before this.
I've been doing more and more consultations with women, almost all of whom are interested in securing long-term romantic partnerships. And it has come to my attention through these consultations that many women harbor a lot of incorrect ideas about men, both what they want and what they respond to. To make matters worse, many of these incorrect ideas are widely espoused by popular culture. This leads to the unfortunate outcome in which women tend not to get what they want despite doing what they're supposed to. Today, I'm going to talk about one of these ideas in an attempt to undo some of this damage in my own little way. An idea that needs to be expunged from the female consciousness is that men want a challenge.
No, we don't. I just want to say before, I know it's gonna go into it, yeah, but do you know what I think? I think some men do. I honestly think some men do. I don't think it's all men don't. I think some men actually do, because it perplexes me that if you really don't want that troublesome woman, why still be? I mean, yes, I see. I mean, I suppose there are a lot more factors that comes into play when in a relationship or in a situation that you don't really like but you're still there. There's a lot more factors than you not liking it. Maybe you like the optionality, you like the braveness that's needed. There's a lot more to it, I suppose. So I suppose in a way he is right, but at the same time I think some men have been in that sort of environment so long that they like it. That's what they've seen their mom and dad do, and then the cycle sort of continues. It's kind of like that, I think. Anyway,
this is not correct. The idea here is that if a woman is too easy, that is, if she gives the man what he wants without playing games with her interest and her availability and her sexual desire, if she doesn't withhold her affection and respect until the guy has jumped through a number of hoops, then that man is going to take her for granted and exploit her as a sexual opportunity and otherwise not consider her to be a viable long-term partner. Now, like most ideas that have permeated the general consciousness, there is some truth to this. However, so we don't get confused, I'm going to ask you, the listener, to create two different compartments in your mind. A chase?
Done. A chase and a challenge. Done.
And a challenge. A chase is not necessarily a challenge, and a challenge is not necessarily a chase. Men don't want a challenge, but they do want a chase. And
I do wonder why we love a chase. And I can see why a chase can also be misinterpreted as a challenge. I definitely can see that. And especially when I really don't like the way the word is, but then again it's like, don't try to conform the word to you, try to conform yourself to the word. I don't think that makes sense, but I hope you understood what I'm trying to say. Don't try to change the word to your worldview. Try to change your worldview to the world, if that makes sense. But let's continue.
Women's conflation of these two ideas that sometimes leads to their lack of success. In any case, I'll speak to the idea of a chase a bit later in the episode. For now, it's extremely important for women to understand that most men's lives are fucking challenging enough already.
I don't think they understand. In fact, I don't even think they care. I don't even think it's like they don't care. I feel like they just dismiss it. That's it. I think they see a man's like how most people see a millionaire. Oh my gosh, you have money anyways. You're not really seen as, I don't know. You're kind of not seen as human anymore. It's kind of like you have money anyways. Well, why are you stressing about it? At least you have money. I'm saying I think someone like it's like that dismissal. It's not even, I don't think it's care. It's like they don't even care to care. If that makes sense, it's kind of like you have money and fine anyways. I think that's the feeling I get. That's the perception I get. Anyway, I might be wrong, but
I'll say that again. Most men's lives are fucking challenging enough already.
And I don't think this guy is doing God's work. Because I don't think I'll be doing this. I'll be teaching people like I am right now. I'm trying to teach people how to adapt to the world we're in right now. Not to necessarily change how it is. Just adapt to the world. But I think he's trying to, I don't know. I think change the way women think of things. And I just can't see that happening anytime soon. But at the same time, I do see that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. You know what I'm saying? Little bits we get there, but I do think it's doing God's work.
In fact, they are more challenging than most women could hope to understand, though it might be more accurate to say that they are more challenging than they would care to understand. There's even a fairly well-known corroboration of both of these facts. Nora Vincent was a lesbian feminist who was convicted, as many women are, that being a man, with all of our male privileges, was sort of like living life on easy mode. She decided to cut her hair and pass as a man for 8 years.
She also did God's work. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's so crazy that even the media doesn't. I don't think they really picked up on that. YouTube, social media, the media never really picked up on that. But if that was a man, I'm quite confident they would. I can place my money that they would. But for some reason, they never picked up on that. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved if the world isn't so. We love swinging to the extremes of things. I'm saying, is it either left or right? There's no gray area. Is it either black or white? Either you're a sinner or you're not. There's always gray areas. There's always areas where the black and white meets, and that area is way more larger than people may even believe or even think. It's incredible.
18 months as a kind of social experiment. She ended this time by checking herself into a mental institution. By her own admission, she had absolutely no idea how difficult it was to be a man, and she was particularly surprised and disheartened by how badly women treated men in the sexual marketplace.
I was having a conversation with a friend, and she was like, she doesn't want to give the wrong idea that she's interested in this guy. And she was like, because she always replied quick, she always quite fast. And I thought to myself, I would think you're interested in me, because women don't necessarily, they're not really kind to people they don't like. Either they like you or they want something from you. Now, I'm not saying all women are like this. I'm not saying all women are like this, but the majority, either they want something from you or they like you. And if they're being nice, they don't really want to be nice. And I can feel it. It's like I'm just being nice because I don't want people to see me in a bad light, or I don't want people to perceive me badly. It's crazy. It's crazy. Especially in this day and age we're in. And women have their own struggles too. And whenever they're talking about the man they want, it's either child or Tyrone. And what I mean by child or Tyrone isn't necessarily like what you are thinking of. I'm thinking about an attractive guy. And when I mean attractive again, I don't necessarily mean physical attractive. Yes, physical attractive is there. His personality, his way of life, his way of living. The more attractive she sees you in her head, the more Tyrone or child you become in her head. If that makes, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, they're just not really nice people. They're not really nice people. They're nice people to me. I'm saying to me they're nice, but they're not really nice. They're not really nice people. They're not really nice people. It's what it is. I'm not saying all women are like this, but please, do not crucify me.
She concludes her book, Self-Made Man, with the following quote: "Men are suffering. They have different problems than women have, but they don't have it better. They need our sympathy, they need our love, and they need each other more than anything else. They need to be together." Good on Nora for being willing and able to correct her understanding in light of new information. I'm just going to go ahead and say it for a third time, just in case it didn't get through. Most men's lives are fucking challenging enough. The last thing a man needs is to come home to another fucking challenge. Life challenges men every single day. No one gives a man an inch. People literally step over men on the sidewalk. No one gives a shit about their suffering. And their struggles, particularly with women, are always somehow framed as their fault. Sure, she might have been having an affair and she took half his wealth, but
it's almost like when a man cheats, it's his fault. Oh my gosh, he's the most horrible, most. But when a woman cheats, wow, you didn't attend to her needs. You didn't give her attention. You didn't. It's always your fault. It's never. Oh my gosh, do you know what? It's always the man's fault. It's always your fault. That's why you have to be careful. You have to be careful who you lay with, who you have kids with. And some of my friends be like, "Oh, Ola, you're too cautious." Yes, because this is my life. Because I know whatever happens, it's always going to be my fault. That's how the world is going to see it. That's how the world is going to see it. It's always my fault. It's crazy.
If he really cared about her, he wouldn't have been working so much, etc., etc., etc. If you're interested in taking your understanding to the next level, I would encourage you to check out the Captain's Quarters, my members-only self...
I need to get some stuff over there.
I'm still recording.
I know, but I'm just letting you know.
Improvement community. Your monthly membership will get you access to a cadre of like-minded, supportive individuals, bi-monthly group consultation sessions hosted by yours truly, and exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. Click the link in the description for more.
Did you know that your favorite productivity solutions are free for eligible?
Because these things can't work. Unfortunately, these things can work, at least for a while. So, this is not the way, ladies. But I want to be honest with you. This is not the way, not because these things can't work. Unfortunately, these things can work, at least for a while. They work on a depressing number of men.
It's crazy because it probably worked on their dad as well. It worked on their dad, it worked on that. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It's really sad because I'm looking at it, I'm looking at life, and I just don't think I would be in a marriage. Not necessarily because I can't, but because of the requirements needed. It's just annoying. It's just too much. It's too costly. I don't want to. And you might be thinking, what's that have to do with it? It's to do with it because of the challenge. It's just too. My life is really challenging enough. I want to come home to a peaceful house. I don't want. I would leave. Nigga, I don't care if I have 16 children. I would leave. And the world will probably say I'm evil. I'm leaving. Because I already have something I want to create. I already have a life that I want to build for myself. Make things easier for me. God damn it.
Not the way, because behaving in this way is ultimately unsustainable and self-defeating. Playing games like Hard to Get, Hot and Cold, and picking fights can capture men's attention. The issue here is that when they do work, you lose when you win. Because what you win is a relationship that's perpetually predicated on you creating unnecessary drama and difficulty in order to maintain the attraction of a particular man whose complementary wound or social programming resonates with that kind of treatment. For instance, Amseling is a tactic that works on a number of men.
Oh yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and put on the post notification button. Send to family and friends, please, because I am trying to grow this channel.
Especially those of the romantic persuasion, because it gives those men the opportunity to...
The romantic persuasion. That's like the African persuasion. Oh, wait, that doesn't make sense. African persuasion. But you get, I hope you get what I'm trying to get at. Something persuasion. Anyways, don't worry. My brain is just...
feel useful and heroic. However, that feeling disappears as soon as the woman is no longer in distress, which could very well be why this wounded or soft-headed man was in the relationship to begin with. That means if she wants to retain his attention, a woman would need to keep that feeling more or less perpetually active, probably by putting herself in arbitrary and unnecessary difficulties, financial difficulties, physical difficulties, emotional difficulties, interpersonal difficulties, to provide him a pretext to swoop in on his white horse. Frankly, that's a recipe for a pretty fucked up relationship. It's bad for the woman, who kind of needs to be distressed in order to maintain the man's attraction, which is predicated on the self-experience of his own usefulness, and it's bad for the man, who has to spend untold resources putting out unnecessary fires.